So, I'm going to discuss about the whole Indo-Pacific Ocean strategy. But first of all, I will explain you that how the word Indo-Pacific has emerged because it is a new word, especially emerged in 2007. In 2008, when the firstly Indo-Pacific Ocean word was used by different magazines, different newspapers, and different books. So Indo-Pacific means the connection between the Indian region and Pacific Ocean regions. And when we see the Indian region, and we have the East Indian nation, and when the East Indian nation associated with the European nation, Pacific European nation, the whole connection is known as Indo-Pacific Ocean connection. So America is taking a lot of interest in this area to develop this area, to provide security and logistic help to this area just to counter and tackle the China in Indo-Pacific Ocean. The Biden policy for the Indo-Pacific Ocean. So what is the Biden policy for the Indo-Pacific Ocean? The Biden administration policy for the Indo-Pacific Ocean is based on the old assumption and old hypothesis. And so from the old assumption, I can say that the strategy and policy of the Donald Trump, the strategy and policy of the Bush administration, they both decided to create a connection in Indo-Pacific Ocean between India and Western nation just to tackle the China. And that's why really a great challenge for the China when the China has to move through the state of the Malacca, and you know that there are a lot of the security risk in the state of the Malacca, and state of Malacca is located near Indo-Pacific Ocean. So really the military installation, missiles installation, and many other logistic activity has really created a great impediment of China in Indo-Pacific Ocean. And so China has diverged towards the CPEC for its favor and for its economic prosperity, so that China can reach the Europe after moving through the Central Asia and Middle East. So that was really something very difficult for the China to compete with the European democracies and lot of the allies of the America in Indo-Pacific Ocean. And that's why China took an alternative path. So what is the new strategy of the America for the Indo-Pacific Ocean? Especially the Biden said that we have to open this area for free trade, open trade, because this area is very secure area, and world 66% GDP creator is this the area of the Indo-Pacific Ocean. Question arises that why this area is getting a lot of eminence. This area is getting a lot of eminence because United Nations has planned to give the logistic help to this area, security help, economic help to this area. Yet United Nations want to economically boost the area, and especially the liberal democracies. And it is just a conspiracy, and this is a deceitful act of the United Nations just to counter its great rival China and create the impediment in path of the Chinese expansionism. So really, this is a great problem. But India and many other allies of China are unable to understand the Chinese. The main strategy is United Nations is going to adopt the allies in especially in Indo-Pacific Ocean. United Nations will provide defense help, security help, military help, economic help, and at the same time United Nations, especially the Biden administration, has taken the initiative to modernize the United States allies in Indo-Pacific Ocean, especially, and to provide help, especially financial help, to bilateral and multilateral organization of the Indo-Pacific Ocean like ASEAN's and like Quads. So what are the roles of the ASEAN and Quad against the China, and how ASEAN's and Quad are robust enough to compete the China in international market? So let's discuss this. So ASEAN GDP is actually 66%, and ASEAN is a great export market out of the East Association nation, and definitely ASEAN has a trade of more than trillions in billions. But is ASEAN, a combined bloc, is really robust enough to compete with China at especially in international market? Of course, ASEAN has to take a lot of the time and lot of the attention to compete the China at international market, and that's why the Biden administration is really willing to provide lot of security, defense, economic aid to the ASEAN, just to make the ASEAN a robust and mighty international bloc to compete the China in international market. So let us critically analyze that is ASEAN will get lot of attention to compete with the China in international market. So ASEAN is actually the association of East Asian nations, where you can find lot of the ally of the India like Myanmar, like Nepal, like Vietnam, and Philippines, and many other islands too. So these nations have the economic potential, although, but their combined bloc like ASEAN uh, was under a lot of rejection from the time. But now the United States, in order to tackle its great rival China, is just playing some tactics to boost its economy so that they can, so that ASEAN can create a serious blockage for the Chinese expansionism. But the problem is that the United States itself is a beggar of the loan from China, and the whole ASEAN nation, either they will combine, and then they will be unable to compete the China and its friend Russia, especially because of the more GDP, because of more trust in the market, and because of the more control. Definitely, when the nation in the Indo-Pacific Ocean, especially India, will join the hands with the European Pacific nation, then it will really create a problem for the China, especially from the state of the Malacca, to reach the Europe and to share its free market with the Europe. But at the same time, it is the situations of the China, and it is a quagmire for China towards the East Sea. And toward the South Sea, we know that China has already engaged with the geographical and territorial clash with the Paracels and Spratly Island in Philippines. So here China is also getting the another huge and robust blockage. So there is only alternative path for the China, and that is towards the BRI Belt Road Initiative. But after Ukraine-Russian war, Belt Road Initiative is not getting a lot of attention, especially from the Eurasian Belt sites, because of the security and logistic issues. So I think that America wants to tackle the Chinese expansion in South Asia, and America is grinding her nose with the students to do this, and still China is willing to expand its market, to expand its economy, and at the same time, the Chinese liberal policy of the trade is really something very flabbergasting, surprising for the America. So I think that from South Chinese Sea, China is already facing the territorial clashes, and from east side, China has faced the blockage from American side, and from CPEC or from Belt Road Initiative, China is facing logistic issues because from the Eurasian belt, especially after the Ukraine-Russia clash. So what will China do, and what will be the next for China? Because a lot of projects in BRI are still facing a lot of the impediment because of the logistic and the security issues. So there is a need for the Gulf countries, for Pakistan, for Islamic countries to come forward and to join China permanently in Chinese energy project and Chinese expansionism. Because a lot of the Islamization policies are resembling with the communism, and on the other hand, the capitalism has openly announced that communism is against of the open free trade, and communism will not follow the international rule of the trade rules.